いいぞこれ。まさに王、影の実力者になった気分。褒美だ。受け取れ。
So I think at this point, it's no secret that Eminence in Shadow has become my personal favorite new anime of the season so far. I think that this was a anime that I was looking forward to based on its description, based on its trailer, but had virtually zero expectations for. And the maybe tiny expectation I had for it just to be enjoyable, it blew that out of the water, and it's been one of the best experiences all season long. And genuinely, every single Wednesday, I am elated. I am hopeful. I can't wait. I'm watching the time that Eminence in Shadow is going to premiere. I can't wait to watch the episode. And I think, last week's episode, okay? I think last week's episode with Cid going atomic was absolutely incredible. And what I love the most is I love the fact that this week we get put back on a much more mellow episode, but it's still incredible. So let's talk about it. So this episode in its more mellow tone was absolutely incredible, and we got so much information in this episode, it is insane. So first off, I'm trying to figure out where do we stop first. I think first let's talk about Gamma. So apparently Gamma had originally set up her base of operations here in the city that Cid is residing in, and she set up a department store. And Cid went, because right now it's about to be Valentine's Day, so Cid went to go look for chocolate and stuff, just like the real world. And apparently chocolate is a thing here too. It's a little bit newer of a custom, but it's something that happens here currently as well. So he went out with his homies to go find some chocolate. He hit up a department store. Found out that the department store is just like the malls here in our normal world, and that was incredible to him, and he thought that was absolutely insane. The reason why it was so like the real world is because he had a direct influence on basically creating the image that he had, which is currently here. Now, what happened is we got the backstory, which I'm a little disappointed in just a little bit, but we got a backstory in how he originally met Gamma when he was a lot younger, when he was a kid, etc., etc., etc. And during the time that he spent with Gamma, he was explaining to her, what did he call it? The wisdom of shadows. So essentially, he used to impart wisdom of shadows onto all the girls when he was younger, kind of growing up. And the wisdom of shadows was basically just all of his experiences in the real world. So kind of like many other isekai anime before it, he would basically tell them, here's how you create chocolate and cakes and confections and all the things that he could remember. He imparted that wisdom onto them, and basically they kind of ran with it. Well, Gamma ended up running with it, and she created a huge chain of department stores that currently makes billions of coin. I think they're called zenny here, but they make billions of coin here, and they're incredibly successful. So now he has this branch of department stores that they're using to kind of like pass and gain information that is generating a lot of income, which he still felt the need at the end of his conversation to steal a coin from Gamma, where he could have just asked her for any amount of money that he wanted to do whatever he wanted. He could have asked her for whatever he wanted, but instead he decided to steal a coin. The part that I was a little bit disappointed in is just the fact that we're not getting any time it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? But normally I don't like backstories. I don't like the coming of age stuff when it's not done right. But I would have loved to have seen this anime kind of take the reins, or kind of take how Mushoku Tensei kind of did it a little bit, how they spent about, maybe half a season, about 6 episodes or so, kind of showing the coming of age, because I feel like there was a lot of really fun, crazy stuff that Cid and the girls did while he was kind of coming of age, including, passing on words of, wisdom of shadows, to the girls and their adventures and things that they did, and how he discovered a lot of these girls like Alpha. We know Alpha now, we know Gamma, right? But how he discovered some of these girls too. I really would have loved to have seen maybe 2 episodes, 3 episodes, kind of like give us the backstory. Maybe they do what they've done so far, then we cut away to like, oh, that reminds me of when I found Gamma. Oh, that reminds me when I found, Omega, and then we get these kind of backstories of him kind of discovering some of the girls. I don't know. I'm a little bit greedy in that way, as I would love that additional context. Now, in conversations with you guys in comments, what you guys have told me is the way, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the source material, I don't know the manga or anything, or light novel, whatever. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what you guys have told me is that these kind of coming of age backstories, they weren't covered in the source material either. So it's not like we're missing out on something that exists. So let me know if I'm wrong in that. But regardless, I still want to be greedy and say that I would love, maybe if it's even an anime original stuff, I would have loved to see that. Then we got to see the Shadow Garden impersonators. Gamma assigns one of her new girls to him. I think she goes by N or something. I don't know, but she assigns one of his girls to him, and he ends up stumbling upon the people who were being the killers and impersonating the Shadow Garden. I love the way he did it. He basically thought that Alexia was the killer this whole time. He was like, "Yo, I don't care if she's a homicidal maniac. Just don't be impersonating Shadow Garden." But he stumbles upon her, saves her once again, and we find out that, he finds out that it wasn't her, it's these random dudes, and he ends up detaining them. He ends up using this new girl, and she tortures these guys, I'm assuming. We find out that the impersonators have been looking and searching for a specific item, and it seems that they found that item. I don't know if that item lies in Alexia or Iris, or I don't know what item specifically. I don't know if it's that Cult of Diablos item that Sherry's investigating. I don't know exactly what that item is yet, but they have found it, which means that now their next move is going to be going after it. Then after that, we kind of saw the end of the episode where Cid's completing his Valentine's Day background character obligations. He's like, I'm going to give this chocolate, I'm going to give Valentine's Day chocolate to the first girl I see. The girl who comes to the library that he was in happens to be Sherry. He tosses her a bone and gives her the chocolate. Is like, that's yours. And then Sherry she's like, okay, cool, whatever. And Sherry's dad later comes on and explains to her what that meant, which Cid didn't mean any of that, but he meant that it was like a love confession, that she needs to give an answer, she needs to enjoy her youth, blah, 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 blah. Cid didn't mean any of that, but he's probably going to land himself with a girlfriend named Sherry Barnett, who is a top researcher investigator who's helping out the kingdom investigate these Cult of Diablos fools. Oh, also Iris did mention that not only is the cult, but the Shadow Garden are both their enemies. So it's crazy. But a lot of other stuff. I reduced a lot of other stuff happened this episode. But absolutely incredible episode. Again, another additive episode to the Amatomic episode. And I think this one I loved as well because we got just so much information this episode that it's worth its weight in gold kind of thing. So definitely incredible episode. Really loved it quite a bit. This has just been such a great anime. Easy 8.5 out of 10. That's where this anime is going to land for me, which is a fantastic rating. This has just been one of the delights of the season so far. The game's coming out pretty soon too. The game looks like shit, I'm not gonna lie. And hopefully we get a dub for this as well. I don't know if that's in the works yet, but let me know. All right, my friends, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.